Hello and welcome to Starting Points, where one thing leads to another. Well, that's what's happened since I made the last video. There was something in the last video that I wanted to talk about, and afterwards I said to myself, I sure would like to mention that. And then I got thinking about other things with this painting and realized that if I talked about this painting, got going on talking about this painting, and added what I was going to say about Newton, it would make a really long video. So I decided to make a video on the Jolly Flatboatman in Port, and then do actually 2 videos on Isaac Newton. So bear with me. This painting is caught my interest in so many ways. First of all, it frames, it captures a way of life for people who live along the Mississippi River, and how they dressed, something about music, and so on. What I wanted to share from the last time was something I thought about this boy, young man, teenager, and because I had mentioned that there was a fiddler, and I had mentioned that there was a tambourine player or some sort of percussionist, but I had wanted to mention this, but I'd forgot to do it. And I thought, well, I wish there was a way of doing it, so here it is. This young man, I can see both his hands very clearly. One, this side of his body is getting light on it, sunlight on it, and I can see the side of his palm and bits of his fingers. This is in the shade, the other hand. But I think that he is also playing percussion. I think he is tapping out a tune on his pant legs, slapping a beat and a rhythm, and to join and blend in with their lead. He's certainly sharing with a smile and an excitement that these three have, as though they're in this together. Now, that said, there's a couple of other things that I wanted to say. Was that he probably couldn't afford an instrument. I mean, I'm judging that based on his shirt torn at the shoulder, at the cuff, but he's got something to share. And these 2 men I'd mentioned, I couldn't tell whether they might be black or not, but I did see the picture in a picture window at home, and with light on it, and I'm fairly sure that these 2 men are not black. So he's the lone black representative in this painting. Actually, a lot of cultures are perhaps included in this, from the businessmen to the children to the Frenchmen, maybe another. If I knew the kinds of hats that people wore, I mentioned the amazing variety of hats that were captured in this. And captured is the word. this whole scene has been captured in a painting. And that got me thinking, by jeepers, how in the world could George Caleb Bingham do this? It's magic. I don't fathom how he could capture that. He painted it before there were cameras. So how did he, I could imagine that happening at a later time, some sort of a camera. Okay, everybody, you take your positions, and then he takes a picture catching the light at a certain point. But this capturing of the light is too amazing. And it's not something that he could say to the people, come back again the same time tomorrow and we'll do this. Well, they don't know. I mean, the sky's not going to be the same. The sun will be slightly different at that particular time. And if he'd used a camera, I think these fellas, oh, I want to be in the picture too. But in this case, he's able to show the backs of heads, a little teeny bit of a person's face there. The fiddler's head his cap and head are bent over, and this man's obscured by his drinking, and to call attention with the sunlight on the seeds and this girl's bonnet and that boy's head, and how the light just comes in and highlights certain things at a certain point in the day. So that was a real puzzlement. And I thought, well, how in the world? And I looked up the painting again, and as I was searching the catalog, I saw that he'd done a couple of other flatboat pictures, not at the port, but out in the river, maybe more at a distance, people dancing, similar sort of thing that he had observed. And this was like a compilation of not only hats, but people. And he's fit it all in to represent a moment in time. And I just thought, how? How does he do that? And I still don't really know. Years of experience? Maybe he did a quick sketch and made little notes, indicated where maybe his experienced eye knew what that angle of the cutting light is going to hit on certain things, and that will be in the bright. Well, it's a wonderment, and that goes for. Now, it's different than a portrait. You know, you have someone come in and portrait, and they would pose and sit, take the same position the next day, same position the next day, however many days it might take you to do the portrait. But it's something that was easy to do. One person. Maybe a portrait of 2 or 3 or even a family posed and worked on at different times. Let's take a stretch now and get something to eat. That's enough for today, and come back to it. Indoors, where the lighting effect is not going to change as dramatically as it does over 15 minutes. outside. So I just take my hat off to this artist, and they, well, at least Bingham was a magician, I think, to be able to do this capturing of so many portraits of so many people, and movement and feel of freeze. Keep that foot up. Even maybe a sense of the breeze that's blowing his hair a little and his bandana. Well, I thank you for joining me, and appreciate you understanding why I'm making a little change. And next time, Newton. Bye for now.